us to deliberate more on this. First coming to you, Aditi. Aditi, looking at West Bengal in particular, not much to choose from other than when it comes to issues. But parties fighting it out over viral content, that's become the talk of the town when it comes to this particular phase of elections in West Bengal.
Right. I mean, the issues are very confusing, I believe, for also the voters, because, the goalposts are shifting on all the sides in West Bengal as well as in the country. We can see every day, the narratives are changing. And of course, in West Bengal, this whole Sam Pitroda episode with Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary rising in his defense yesterday, which was actually a needless thing to do because the Indian National Congress had itself distanced from Sam Pitroda's remarks. Sam Pitroda had resigned as overseas Congress chief. So obviously those remarks were not palatable at all and those were racist. There was no need to defend them. So to give the BJP fresh fodder to, fight with against the Congress was needless, especially because Behrampur, Anil, is the only seat, one of the two seats, Malada being the other one, which the Congress actually won last time. So they have to win this at any cost because Congress party's entire machination within the India bloc was that we need more seats from the TMC and TMC is willing to give us only 2. So you should be in a position to save at least that one. As far as the BJP is concerned, they hold only 2 of these 8 seats. And for TMC, the stakes are very high, Anil, especially because you have a polarizing personality like Moa Moitra in the fray. Moa Moitra for a good 2 months dominated the news cycle. Before she was of course expelled from the Lok Sabha, she is fighting her case in the courts and she has come across as a very aggressive candidate and we know that the BJP has placed the best bet possible, the royal family's lady as its candidate against Moa Moitra, but it will be a battle of reputations on all sides really.
Okay, it's a battle of reputations on all sides in West Bengal. Mr. Iyer, what's the reason that you especially see when you come to elections in Andhra Pradesh, in Telangana, you generally look at the field and it's a field of rich or rich candidates that you see in the elections. What is this trend that we see time and again in elections, especially in these 2 southern states?
Well, particularly Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, even before the bifurcation, elections were always considered very expensive proposition in the undivided Andhra Pradesh, and post the division and creation of 2 separate states, you have seen that invariably the cost of electioneering has gone up and it is not possible for, even for party leaders who cannot mop up their own resources to fight elections in Telangana as well as in Andhra Pradesh. And this time in Andhra Pradesh, it's a kind of a do or die battle for the TDP chief N. Chandrababu Naidu. And he is hoping that Jagannath Mohan's quest for a 3rd term can somehow be thwarted because of an alliance that he has managed with the help of BJP as well as Pawan Kalyan.
Okay.
And on the other hand, Jagan his campaign has followed a distinct style where he is not so much into talking about his opponents, rather about what he has done, what his government has done in the last 10 years and the kind of welfare schemes and the ground level delivery, rather the last mile delivery. And of course, he has been talking about, reminding the voters what was the situation under the TDP rule, particularly talking about alleged corruption. Of course, there are issues like Polavaram projects, about the pace of development that has happened under Jagan's pace, and the issue of capital. You see, today, under Chandrababu Naidu, Amravati was declared as a capital and he went about the task of land acquisition and development of Amravati. Whereas Jagan has come with a proposal, there will be 3 capitals in Andhra Pradesh. You will have an executive capital in Visakhapatnam, you will have a judicial capital in Kurnool, and Vijayawada, and Amravati will be the legislative game. So you can see that, there the issue is rather about your model of development versus my model of development.
Okay. Let's once again go back to our correspondents. There are 3 new correspondents from 3 different areas joining us. Amit Mukherjee joining us from Madhya Pradesh. We've got Vishal Barrister joining us from Odisha that enters the election fray in phase 4 of election. Salman Haider joining us from Bihar to take the deliberations forward. Let me first come to you, Amit. looking at, the battle that's there, especially in the two regions, the last phase of elections that we are seeing in Madhya Pradesh, how do you see it, especially in the tribal belt? You made a mention about interesting contests there. With a passing day, do you see that getting, much tight, much keener between the political forces?
Quite rightly pointed out, Anil. Actually, the only constituency which is getting a lot of focus is actually the tribal constituency of Ratlam, which also has this Jhabua belt, which is one of the largest tribal belts of Madhya Pradesh. If you look at how things have been panning out here, Prime Minister had started campaign as early as February, where he had announced 7,500 crores of project during February for the people around Jhabua. And this is the place where, even Congress has fared pretty well in the last assembly elections, which is what has thrown up major challenges for BJP. And BJP, again, the local leaders are also campaigning. In fact, all the senior BJP leaders from the state are focusing on the tribal belt right now. But if you look at what happened in 2019, almost all the seats which are going to the polls in this particular phase, which is the last phase on May 13, they had made a clean sweep out here. But if analysts are to be believed, out of this 8, only one tribal district or constituency, which is the Ratlam, is facing some sort of challenge. But even the other constituencies in the tribal districts of Khad and Khargon, they are also seem to be comfortable. The fight is there, but BJP definitely seems to be having an upper edge. But again, Ratlam and the last moment campaigns have intensified further. It's a tooth and nail fight in Ratlam right now.
Okay, let's shift focus to Odisha. Vishal joining us. Vishal, there is a yellow alert, especially in Bihar, in Odisha for the next 5 days. Do you see that having an effect on the elections, especially on voting day? That's the 13th.
Well, Anil, all I can say is it is having an effect on journalists like us who are covering the country all across, covering the Prime Minister who's being spearheading the BJP's campaign from the front. And let me tell you that I was in Krishnanagar. I was overhearing your conversation there. Mahua Moitra, she is Mahua Moitra. She refused to talk to Didi, and yes, BJP has fielded the former erstwhile royal from Krishnanagar, and coming from Bengal to Odisha, here also in Bolangir, you have the erstwhile royals, both husband and wife. The wife is sitting MP Sangeeta Kumari Singh Deo, and she has been also MP earlier for 3 times. So 4 times she has represented the constituency, and she is trying her luck for the 5th time as well. Prime Minister would be holding a rally here in Bolangir. As you can see, the preparations are on. And not only that, her husband is also contesting the assembly elections. Remember, Odisha goes to poll both for assembly and Lok Sabha elections.
Okay, a quick word there from Salman Haider joining us from Bihar. Seats in the Mithilanchal area, how do you see the seats in Mithilanchal play out in this particular phase of election?
Anil, there is one seat in Darbhanga where Gopalji Thakur is in fight with RJD's Lalit Yadav. But I don't think the fight is tough. So we can say there is no competition there. But in the rest of the cases, the seats which are going in 4th phase, going to poll, Begusarai is there where Giriraj Singh, the union minister, is fighting. And last time he had won with a huge margin of 5 lakh votes, over 5 lakh votes. And the weather is pleasant right now. So we hope that voting will be somewhat higher than the last phase. Yes, Anil.
Okay, appreciating all three. Vishal joining us from Odisha, Amit Mukherjee from Madhya Pradesh, Salman Haider joining us from Bihar for your inputs there from the ground. Well, the Great Indian Election is your one-stop show on weekdays on all that matters in the Indian elections of 2024. What could be something that we could be looking out for on Monday night? Take a quick look.
Phase 4 of the world's largest democratic
elections. 96 seats across 10 states and union territories. Press the button. Fate of former chief ministers, union ministers and regional satraps sealed. DD India, the election news headquarters, will analyze all the numbers as it unfolds on the Great Indian Election at 8:30 p.m. IST, only on DD India. Well, that's all we have time for. Thank you to both my guests this evening, Aditi Randan in the studios, Shekhar Iyer joining us. Appreciate both joining us, helping us understand this particular phase of elections for us. With that, it's a wrap of this edition of the Great Indian Election. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. Good night, stay safe, take care.